Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back with another Kershaw Discontinued Classic. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Kershaw 1670 Blur Orange County Choppers version. Now, you guys know all about the Kershaw Blur. There's actually two Kershaw knives that are literally the signature knives of their entire Kershaw lineup. Even today, folks, it's still around. You can still pick up the Kershaw Blur, and the other knife, of course, the Kershaw Leak. Unfortunately, you guys can no longer get this version of the Kershaw Blur. This is the Kershaw Orange County Choppers version, named after the Orange County Choppers show, which I believe is also no longer running. I'm not quite sure. I was never really a fan of Orange County Choppers, but I do know that there was a show and that they decided to make a knife after it, and they also did one in the Leak. So let's go ahead and take a look at this knife. This knife has very, very unique packaging. It doesn't just come in your regular silver Kershaw box. You also get with the box these tin boxes that came with it. The Kershaw Leak also had it. I'm going to be doing that review as well on that knife. A quick shout out. Everybody needs to understand I'm doing these reviews strictly for anyone out there that is looking to possibly maybe consider collecting these knives. It's really the only real reason why I do that, in case anybody wants to start a collection, or maybe they don't know how to start a collection. I can only give you one advice. You can still get all these knives, as far as I can see, because they seem to be popping up on eBay. They still seem to be popping up on blade forums. It is still, of course, much more rare now than it used to be. But you can still get them, and it just takes patience. It just takes time. Basically, trying to go after pieces like this for collectible purposes, it's kind of like fishing. I mean, you throw your line out there, and you'll either get a bite or you won't get a bite. And that's pretty much what the experience has been like for me trying to collect all these Kershaw Discontinued blades. So anyway, you've seen the box. Here's the tin box that it comes in. The tin box actually has a picture of the motorcycle on it. It's actually raised. You can actually feel that. It's kind of a nice, attractive piece, box that it comes in. So there you have it. And of course, the Kershaw silver box that all the old Kershaw knives used to come in prior to 2011 2009. So let's take a look at the Kershaw Blur Orange County Choppers 1670. And what we're looking at here is an all aluminum scale knife. It's the Kershaw Blur. You guys know it's a spring assisted blade. It's also a subliner lock. I guess that's what they call it. It's where the liner lock is not the entire, strictly all the way inside of the actual knife, not the entire inside of the knife, but just strictly a small section of it, about an inch, is actually the liner, and you can clearly see that. So basically, you just push it, close it, and it's a spring-assisted knife, so it shoots out real fast. Once again, one thing you don't see on Kershaw knives anymore are the thumb studs. Now, these thumb studs are actually angled. I don't know if you guys can see that on here. But it's nothing, you guys are familiar with those. You guys that actually own the Blur, you know this. The thumb studs on both sides are angled to make it easier for you to deploy the knife. Because the knife is actually meant to be deployed straight out. Basically, you hold the knife straight out like this, and then you push it up. Unlike most other knives where you would actually maybe do a little rest action or something like that, the Kershaw Blur has the angular thumb stud, so you push it right back out there. It's got a black wash pocket clip on the knife. And what's interesting about this knife is you can see there's a spider on it, right there, and then a little Orange County Choppers cycle on the end there. But what's interesting is the texture of the Kershaw Blur Orange County Choppers. The spider web, as you can see, is actually it's actually raised on. In other words, it's actually one sort of molded piece of metal to make it look like a spider web. I mean, it looks like they glued it on, I guess, with some sort of adhesive, but it's actually one whole entire piece of. It looks like aluminum webbing that they put on both sides of the knife, and they glued it on. Very attractive. You can actually feel it in your hand, so that makes it kind of a nice knife. Because it's a collectible piece, I don't know if anyone has actually bought the knife and actually used it, but it's one of those pieces where it just looks just too attractive to actually use, and it is a collectible piece. So this is probably one of the knives you would probably consider safe cleaning first before even considering using it. If you were a big fan of the show, you probably would have bought 2 of these, beat the crap out of one of them, and then the other one you just sort of tucked away and put in a safe. So this knife was actually meant to be saved clean. I don't think it was intentionally made just to use, because it does come in a nice collectible box. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons real quick, just so everybody can remember what the Blur was. Here's the ZT 0456 Blackwash. Okay. And this the Spyderco Swish Bowie. All these knives are pretty much similar in size. So let's put it up against a knife that's a little bit bigger so you can get a better understanding of the actual size. Not that you guys don't know what a Kershaw Blur size is, but, I don't want you guys thinking that because it was a collectible, maybe it was larger or something, and it's not. So there's your ZT801 Blackwash knife. So that's 3.5. And, yeah, I mean, as you can see, the Kershaw Blur is close to the same size as the ZT801. Steel is all Sandvik steel. Same as the Blur today. It's a Sandvik 14C28M, which is a good steel. This is before Kershaw put out the Mo 13. Which is one of the crux of this collection, is that there are no Mo 13 Kershaw knives that I own in this particular collection. Every knife that I own in this collection is a Sandvik knife and up. So we don't have any Mo 13 in this collection here. So there you guys have it, the Kershaw Blur Orange County Choppers. It's a nice collectible piece. I'm happy to have it in my collection. I'll probably bring you guys the Kershaw Leak tomorrow so you can take a look at that. That's another piece that I've got. So there you have it, the Kershaw Blur 1670 OCC. Again, this is, my Kershaw Discontinued collection. I didn't see any real reason to do stats on it or anything like that. A lot of you guys know what the Kershaw Blur is. Plus, if you want to see the stats on something like this, you just look it up online. But this is just basically for anyone out there that's considering collecting these knives, or they want to maybe start a collection of their own, and thought you guys might want to have a look and see what I have. So there you go. Kershaw Discontinued 1670 Orange County Choppers Blur. And this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, hoping that you will find happiness in your next piece of sharp art.